Okay, this is going to be a really chill video. I just want to get used to talking to the camera and just going to turn my microphone on. Being comfortable on camera. I'm not really interested. Whoa. What the fuck was that? I don't know what that sound was, but that scared the shit out of me. And there's also a huntsman chilling up in the corner of my ceiling. So that bird noise or whatever that was just kind of scared me. I didn't even know where I was at, but I'm going to talk about a spider story. A couple years ago when I was in my final year of school, I think, I was on a rafting trip with some mates, and on like the third or fourth day we just got into the end of our journey and we were turning around and coming back. And I'd swapped boats. My partner had swapped boats with me, and so I had another mate in my boat. And after about a few kilometers, just chilling in the Noosa Everglades, flat, nice, calm water, my mate noticed that there was a spider, the biggest spider that I'd ever seen in our boat. It was an Australian water spider that after we'd searched up, it was like had slightly orange like stripes, I think, and it was slightly venomous. We didn't know this at the time, but we just knew it was huge. It was like proper just big. But the thing is, in this canoe, you're sitting on either end. One person's in the back, one person's in the front. And I was sitting in the front. So he was good because like he could see the spider occasionally. Sometimes we'd run under our bags and we'd be freaking the hell out. But he could like bang the boat and it would run away from him, and he could look at where he was going, where the spider is. But I was in the front, paddling forward, looking back at where the spider was. I did not like that at all. And I just shat myself and I was like, no, I'm gonna get on another boat, because we couldn't get him off the boat. We tried to like pick him up and throw him, but he wasn't getting on our paddle and stuff. So I ended up just sitting in the middle of someone else's boat, and he just ended up standing up and like paddling our canoe as a one-man person, like a stand-up paddleboard. And I remember when we got back, like we emptied the canoes, and me and him like had the spider in the canoe, and we were trying to like flip it and stuff and trying to get him out. And then he was running on water. Like we flipped him out, he landed in the water, ran on the water back to the boat, and that was the scariest shit I'd ever seen. But at that point in time, like I knew the spider was there. I was standing on the ground. I could like maneuver myself away from the spider if it jumped at me or anything. But I remember walking past someone, I was like, it wasn't even that big. And then I just always remember that, because I feel like that was the dumbest thing, because I was scared shitless. I wouldn't say I was scared shitless. I was just like, I was scared enough to get off my boat and be like, nah, I'm leaving. I'm not letting that thing be right behind my back and still canoe this boat. So I just like helped another boat and just sat in the middle of their boat, which is kind of humiliating in a sense, but it was funny. It was funny looking back on it, but I always looked back on it with a kind of like tinge of like, oh, what poor sense of character. I should have just said I was scared as shit. And it still was the biggest spider that I'd seen, but not on a backpack. It looked less big because it was obviously on a canoe. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, he's come down from the corner and he's very close to my door. I'm gonna see if I can get this to show him. Okay, barely. He looks absolutely tiny there, but if you think of the width of the door, oh, he's moving. Oh, he's going outside. He literally just moved outside. I'm just going to close my door. Alright. Good. I was kind of waiting for that. I feel much more comfortable about sleeping in here now, because the only reason I wouldn't feel comfortable about sleeping in here is if that thing walked into my mouth or walked onto my face, because that's happened to my brother once, and I've had a few close calls. My house has a lot of trees and stuff, so we tend to have lots of huntsmen when it's raining and stuff. I've sit in stuff a couple times. I don't want to do that. But yeah, I feel a lot better, but I don't want to kill them because they eat the cockroaches, and I don't like killing things that I don't have to kill. Or just anything in general. But yeah, that's my random spider story. But to the point of this video, I got 3 things that I wanted to talk about. One was talking to the camera and just talking in general. I want to improve my ability to speak to people and to the camera. And just in general, ever since I graduated, I feel like I became a shut-in. In a sense, I rarely went out. I only went out for band rehearsals and to work. I just stopped doing things, activities. In school, I was in around 7 different music ensembles. I played volleyball, and I was like quite fit. I would do a lot. I would just do so much. Every single morning, I had either one of the two choirs, or I was doing musical or saxophone ensemble, saxophone, big band, concert band, like guitar ensemble, guitar lessons, drama lessons. I was doing so much, and every single day I was just doing all these things, and I left school and I kind of just chilled out. And because of that, my speaking, which I think used to be much more articulate, I just ended up mumbling a lot. And when I'm speaking with my parents, like, I don't feel the need to overly articulate and speak with clarity, because I know it's my parents and I'm just chilling at home, and it's just like I kind of speak like that and I just mumble. And so the last couple of years, my speaking in my mind has not like maintained, but significantly decreased in just my ability to communicate. Obviously, when I'm trying very hard, I feel like I can communicate effectively. And in any social setting, I think I'm okay. But just in general, I want to improve my consistency at speaking articulately and articulating my ideas in a way that is easily comprehended. So that's why I wanted to do this in one take. Just get used to speaking to the camera, because when I'm having a conversation with someone, I can't just be like, and then I did this and blah blah blah. Like, I can't stop and start and just, yeah, I'll cut that out. So that's one thing. I want to talk more to the camera. Also, I got Invisalign a couple years ago, and I got a lisp when I got that, and I'm aware that also drastically changed the way that I speak. So I'm going to be getting that off either in a couple of weeks or like 2 or 3 months. So I think that'll also change the way that I speak and sing and stuff. So I'm very excited for that, because then that is how I'll speak. So when I work on that, it won't just change again when I take it out of my mouth. I guess it also produces a lot more saliva and things, so I'm aware of that, but the skill of speaking itself is not being overly hindered by my Invisalign. The 2 other things that I wanted to talk about were journaling, and the third one is a mindset that I wanted to adopt. I don't know if I said this before, because this is actually my 3rd attempt at doing a one take, so it's a 3rd one take, whatever. But journaling. The last video that I posted was kind of about my vision for life. Only a smallish aspect of it. There's still so many things that I could talk about, but I just wanted a guiding star to set me off on the journey again, because I feel very stagnant, or at least I felt stagnant over the last couple of years. And I think the single best thing that I can do every single day is journal. Just wake up, pick up my journal, and write. Stream of conscious. There's a book called The Artist's Way, and she talks about morning pages. I haven't actually read the book, but I've seen other people talk about it. And it is so good for you. Like, it just changes the way that your brain thinks. The effects that it has on my mind and my day-to-day ability to do the things that I want to when I want to do them with focus, it's like how I think I feel when I meditate. And then it actually happens. In my mind, it's a writing meditation, and all of your thoughts, everything that's bouncing around in your head, you just write it down. Whether it's a story, an idea that you want to flesh out, just a recount of your day. There's always going to be things cycling through your mind, and there only needs to be 1, 2, or 3 things that you just repeat again and again and again and again, and then your mind is overwhelmed, overstimulated, and you struggle to think. At least I struggle to think. But as soon as I write that thing down, I can see it, and my mind goes, oh, that thing is written down, and I do not need to think about it again. I can actually visualize it, analyze it, and process it, and then make a decision on what I want to do with it. And whilst writing down your emotions and recounting your day and that kind of thing is also good, I think of journaling more in a sense of a self-improvement thing. I love the way that Andrew Kirby talks about it. Growth journaling. I use it as a means to tackle problems in my life in the most effective way possible. Because if you have those thought cycles going around and around, you can't take action on them, because you try and think about it, and then the energy you're using to think is used up trying to think about it, because you can't visualize it effectively. So as soon as you do write it down, you can go, oh, okay, why am I struggling to find focus at this time of day? And if you're just trying to think about that, half the time you're just wasting the time trying to think about it and just single out that one thought when you're getting bombarded with other thoughts. But when it's written down on the page, you can go, why am I getting unfocused? Because there's distractions. Why are there distractions? Because I left my phone in my room, I didn't turn my notifications off. And you actually get the ability to hone in on what you're thinking about and find the bottlenecks in your day-to-day actions and remove them so that you can actually do the things that you want to do in life. So I break up journaling into 2 different things. Write down all of your thoughts so that you can take action on the ones that are important to you, and just clear your mind, because without clarity it is so difficult to do anything. And the second one that I want to start doing every single day, and I think if I just did these 2 journaling activities, 1, remove all of my thoughts from my mind by just putting them all onto page, and then 2, saying this quote to myself and then answering this prompt. The magic you were looking for is in the work you were avoiding. The magic you were looking for is in the work you were avoiding. The life that I dream for is in the work that I'm not doing. And I'm sacrificing my dream life, the best version of myself, for my current pleasures. I'm choosing inaction. I'm choosing not to change every moment that I don't change. And so I want to ask myself every single day, what work or what task am I avoiding? I haven't really figured out exactly how I want the prompt to be structured, but I think a better way to say it is, what are the bottlenecks stopping you from getting what you want? Now do that now. Or do that first. Eat the frog, do it first thing in the morning. If I just did that every single day, I think the things that I've accomplished in the last 4 years, I would have accomplished in 4 months. Because the time between me knowing that I need to make a decision and then making a decision is usually months in between. Like 4 years ago, I posted a YouTube video saying chase fear and try and be a YouTuber. Try and make something of yourself. Try and create something that'll last. Or just create anything in general. And that was after years of wanting to do that. And then even then, I did it once and I was like, yay! And then I got scared and I was like, oh, it's gonna fail, you're gonna fail. Like, no one's gonna like you. Like, everyone's gonna be like, oh, you're weird and cringe. But no one cares. And here I am 4 years later, still trying to do it. But I think I'm just a couple steps ahead of me 4 years ago, so. Yeah. To sum that up, journal your thoughts, find clarity on what you want, and then ask yourself, what work are you avoiding? And then do that thing. And that leads into the third thing, which is a mindset that I want to adopt. And it's run towards your hard problems. Because winning or success all comes down to problem solving. The harder the problem, the bigger the reward. And it takes so long for people to win, or they never do, because we just run away from our problems. We choose the easy path, the path of least resistance, of the least conflict. And it's a habit. It's a habit to do the easy things. And I want to change that. And that's why it kind of leads back into the, what am I avoiding? Now do it. Or even just thinking, what am I avoiding? What would your life look like if you didn't avoid it and you ran towards it instead? Because I think that's the single difference between like achievers and the highest achievers. Yeah. Now reflecting on that, I could have said it 50 times better. I could have written it down more and said it with such clarity in maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And I think for the most part, I want to do that. But I also think this is really valuable, just learning to speak. I'm gonna do both. I want to get better at communicating and writing because they feed into each other. The more I write, the better I am at. Articulating my thoughts and generating high value thoughts with more cohesion and clarity. I'm kind of just throwing the same words together, but the more I write, the better my thoughts. And the more I speak, the better I speak. And they kind of just feed into each other. So yeah. Another random thing that I want to talk about is the way that I want to structure my future content. Because I can go down, I mean, I'm sure I can do all of them, but I kind of want to structure it in a way that makes me feel good and that conveys my ideas and gives me the time to build on stories and things like that. But do I try and post every day just like this, like zero editing, talk to the camera, and in 100, 200, 300, 500 videos in a year and a half from now, I just significantly improve my ability to speak to camera? Or do I just spend my week writing, brain dumping, just thinking as much as I can, writing, voice memoing, and then clarifying those ideas, interconnecting them, asking questions, talking to people, break them down, like condense them till it's just pure value, pure gold, effectively. And then read that as a video. That's kind of how Dan Coe does videos. He talks about really, really good stuff. And he writes throughout the week, clarifies his ideas, and then just once a week he just films that 1,000, 2,000 word newsletter and talks about that. Or do I do a bit of both? And I after just saying that, I think I'm going to be kind of somewhere in the middle, because I want to get better at speaking generally, because this is much more similar to how I would speak to someone in a catch up or something like that. So yeah, that ended up pretty good. It's still really long. It's 21 minutes. I don't really care if anyone watches it or not, because this is for me, and I will reap the rewards. And I don't know if there's any valuable ideas that you want to talk about in the comments, and that's chill too. I'm just excited to be making videos and actually just putting my thoughts out there. Slowly creating a personal brand. An online identity, I guess. Because the more I put out there, the more I find the people that are like-minded to me. And the more I put my thoughts and ideas out there, the more feedback I get, and the more I can improve that. Or find out I'm wrong, in which case I will find truth in communication and conversation. So that's really exciting to me. I'm just overcoming the fear of like giving a shit what other people think, and that, because no one really cares. And I was thinking about like putting on my story, hey, I put up a YouTube video, go watch it. But no one on my Instagram currently, well, not no one, but I would say maybe 5% of the people on my Instagram would actually care if I posted on YouTube, because they're not my target audience. My family, most of my friends, not most of my friends, but some of my friends, they're not my target audience for the kind of person that I want to be in the future. Some of them have very similar interests in things, but in general on Instagram, that's just not the case. So maybe when I start posting this kind of stuff on Instagram, and then that becomes my main following on Instagram, then it'll be kind of a back and forth, and I'll be one cohesive. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be just authentically me all the time. And that's slowly what I'm working towards. But it's also, I don't need to be like, this is who I am every time I meet someone new. I'm not. So, I don't know. This is exciting, and this is super chill. And a 23-minute video in 4K. I might just compress it down to 1080 because it doesn't need to look that good. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Whatever, I'm gonna just post. I'm happy that spider walked out. I also just started a full-time job today. Not a full-time job, like a new job at a really, really nice gym. It hasn't actually opened yet. It opens up in another 2 weeks, but it's close by, and it's got really good recovery facilities, and it's gonna be really bougie, I think. So I'm excited for that. But as it's opening, there's gonna be tons of different upgrade memberships from other gyms in the branch and things like that, and a bunch of new people coming in to just trial it. So I think it's going to be busy, but yeah, I still want to focus as much of my free time to writing. I got another video that I kind of wanted to put out now, but I wanted to put a bit more effort into it. So I decided today's a good day to try and just improve my ability to talk to camera, because no one's going to watch this anyway. So yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. It's 9:45. I'm going to go to sleep. But I'll see you next week.